Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Examiner of this final examination in this special occasion. My name is Aprianty Mardini. I am student M.Hum 220027. English Education Study Program Faculty of Language Education, SILIWANGI 2021. I would like to thank my supervisor, Ms. Supiyah Cahyati M.Pd, and Mr. Trisnendri Syahrizal S.Pd M.Hum, who have guided me to complete the research paper. I will presentation my research paper with the title Developing Vocabulary Material Using Nearpod Applications in Junior High School. And the first, I will do explanation about the background of the research. The role of vocabulary in learning a foreign language is inestimable. This vocabulary will help students master English and its first critical skills, which cover listening, speaking, reading, and writing. However, vocabulary material is still a little challenging to understand because the vocabulary material has vocabulary that are difficult to pronounce and have almost the same vocabulary. For example, here and here, making it difficult for students to remember. And the teaching is a tool teacher use to deliver teaching material to students during the teaching and learning process to achieve specific learning goals, various teaching material. And problem of the research. The coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 pandemic. The coronavirus disease or COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in all students at the school level being advised to study at home until the situation has changed, and ineffective various learning media. The delivery of material is not optimal because students have difficulty accessing the Google Classroom application provided by the school, and ineffective various learning media. The delivery of material is not optimal because students have difficulty accessing the Google Classroom application provided by the school, and the teacher have difficulty accepting assignment because teacher cannot monitor student activity using Google Classroom during COVID-19. Next, research questions. 1. How is the process developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school? 2. What is the result of developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school? 3. What are the teacher and student responses to developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school? And 4. What are the challenges of developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school? And next slide, objective of the research. 1. To refer the process of developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school. 2. To identify the result of developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school. 3. To find out the teacher and student responses to developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school. And 4. To elaborate on the challenges of developing vocabulary material using Nearpod application in junior high school. In the slide, place and time of the research. Is the place. The research is collected in junior high school in Bangladesh in the 2021 and 2022 academic years. And the research time, this research conducted from March until May 2022. And the next slide, Nearpod application. Nearpod is an application that can support the online learning process or e-learning with various feature facilities that are simple for educators and students to use. Nearpod service can be used to explain the material in quick game-like quizzes. This type of medium make the teaching and learning process more exciting and instill a sense of competition in student memorization. The advantages of Nearpod application. 1. Learning material or content that is ready to use. 2. Various learning activity and content. 3. Various mode of learning delivery. And 4, creating two-way learning. 5, the are integrated with various other content. And 6, student participation and formative assessment result report. And this figure of Nearpod application. 1. Background Nearpod application start view. And next figure, this is menu display of the listen menu this content. Next figure, time to climb. Time to climb allows students to answer quizzes or questions while being visualized as if they are climbing a mountain. And next slide, research methodology. Research and development method by Borg-Engel 2007. In this study, the product development steps have adjusted to the research rate from 10 stages to 9 stages. This is the product development step R&D by Borg-Engel. 1. Research and information collecting. Research and information collecting. This step includes among other things the review of relevant literature and the preparation of a research framework. 2. Planning. Formalize problem-related skill and expertise. Determine the goals to be achieved at each stage, and conduct a limited feasibility study if possible or necessary. 3. Develop a preliminary form of the product. This step includes creating the initial form of the product to manufacture. This step includes the creation of supporting components, the creation of guidelines and manual, and the assessment of the feasibility of supporting tools. 5. Preliminary file testing. Initial file trial is carried out on small scale by involving multiple subjects. A questionnaire can be used to collect and analyze data in step 5. Operational file testing main product reaction. Based on initial results, this step improves making improvements to the initial product. With the result of limited trial, the primary product draft or model is ready for board testing. And C. Main file testing. The primary trial in this step improves all student collecting and analysis data through a questionnaire. 7. Operational product revision. This step improving the finding of a later trial so that the developed product is already a functional model designed ready for validation. 8. Operational path testing. The validation test step on the generate operational model performed in this step. And the final product not used because the product made is appropriate and does not require this stage. And the last, dissemination and implementation. This step improves disseminating and applying the developed product or model in the file. Next slide, the result of research. The use of Nearpod learning media in learning activities show good results. Students who have difficulty accessing previous learning media are more helpful because of the easy and flexible use of Nearpod application. The material presented to students is considered quite interesting for students to understand and learn vocabulary. The existence of the library of material with video animation makes the more focus and not bored when listening to the material can is conveyed so that it is easier for students to understand vocabulary. The use of activities such as interactive quizzes make learning more interactive. Students become more active in doing quizzes and practice questions. More fun brings student motivation to want to do exercise independently, and mini games such as icebreaker make learning not monotonous and certainly more fun. The interaction between teacher and student is better than before. With the use of Nearpod media, students become more activity more active in asking and answering questions about vocabulary. And by using the application learning media, students become more understanding in learning vocabulary compared to the previous learning media. Students can distinguish the same word as before. Students are more confident in pronunciation vocabulary in English. Students know more vocabulary than before. The use of Nearpod application learning media also makes students more motivated to learn English. From the result of using the application media during learning, the teacher becomes more helpful because of the automatic assessment system so that teacher can easily see the result of student work and make assessment. Next slide. The responses of student and teacher. The responses of students. The data from the questionnaire was taken based on preliminary point testing and mindful testing, using a questionnaire as a data collection medium and calculate using method ID 2010. The following is a comparison of product tests that have been carried out. The test results show that the comprehensive test was declared victorious because the result of the response questionnaire were what 3.7 from the previous 3.2. Because the product is declared victorious, the revision will not be carried out again because the product is appropriate. And the response of teacher. From the result of this interview, it can be concluded that the Nearpod application is very good for students for class 7 student learning because the application is easy for students to access by using a link without downloading it can motivate student learning at school. Next slide. The challenges. The challenge as told by experts is that there is not much time for learning and observation because the study method improves face-to-face interaction at the school. Some students find the network to be limiting in their learning, and researchers sometimes struggle to find reference material. Conclusion of the research. In developing the Nearpod application learning media for vocabulary at junior high school, using the broad angle theory which was adapted into 9 research steps because it is sufficient to ensure the whole process of developing Nearpod learning media product. 2. Currently, being developed Nearpod learning media for vocabulary material in junior high school, which serve to facilitate student learning vocabulary. The step of this research using the broad angle 2007 model adapted to the need of the research, namely in the United States. The tests carried out by the media experts that were developed were declared feasible with a high score of 3.7 in addition to the material expert tests were achieved and their ability assessment is very decent. And 3. Nearpod application learning media in class 7 and junior high school in Las Info, it can be seen from the result of the small group test, which has an average value of 3.73, which according to the calculation of the student lesson questionnaire. Thus, it can be said the result of student coverage with the development of learning media vocabulary learning material are possible to use. 4. Obstacles found in the field, such as time constraints due to the pandemic because school held limited face-to-face meeting and some students have problems with the network. Suggestion of the research or user: before using the interactive media use Nearpod application, make sure the users have a stable internet network use because if the internet is not stable and the use of Nearpod application media can cause delay. For other research, 1. For future researchers, the scope of the material can be more comprehensive and not only focused on specific classes. 2. For future research, the design of media should be developed in nature to encourage student action to learn. 3. For future research, should be prepare reference or search for previous research related to this research.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello student, good morning. How are you today? Okay, today board, a board, a door, a window, a book, a table, a desk, a chair, a wall, a floor. Itu adalah kosakata yang ada dalam kelas dengan menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Next, kita akan mengetahui arti-arti kosakata yang ada dalam kelas. A globe,